James, just catching up with him because obviously we haven't seen him in about 365 days, and there's a lot to catch up with. And I guess the first thing is let's talk about that last session. I mean, that was not exactly what you wanted at any kind of level. Obviously, trying to get everything back together, get on from having the bike go down, and you get up there and you're ready to go, and then I can see the frustration because you're like, oh, tire pressures were wrong. But
well, it's not that tire pressures are wrong. It's just you want to make sure they're right before you head out on one of these big bikes at Mosport. The speeds are pretty good, so want to make sure we're safe. And the boys have been busting their asses pretty much all morning to get this Superbike ready. We had some parts flown in from Blackfoot Motorsports, so got super lucky there, and hopefully we'll be able to get in the show and have some fun this afternoon.
All right, let's talk about Sport Bike. That's been going obviously a little bit better, and then we'll talk about some of your other adventures. But let's talk about this weekend so far on Sport Bike. Going okay.
Yeah, going okay. Again, I threw the Sport Bike away yesterday in Superbike qualifying, so that didn't really help much. I was just getting up to speed, and then again, the guys busted their asses to get my Super Sport Bike fixed so I could get out for qualifying. And we made the show. I think we're on the second or third row, but the times are close, and I think we should be able to run with the guys at the front.
All right, so the big thing you've been doing for a guy who's supposedly retired, I think twice now, maybe 3 times. You're actually doing more racing now, I think, than ever before. Not only down south in Moto America, but I think the big news really is that you've been racing on the Irish roads, and you got to do the Isle of Man. Let's talk about some of that.
Yeah, you know, I was really fortunate to get hooked up with Brian Farquhar's KMR Kawasaki team. Got over. I've done the Northwest 200 twice now, and pretty much all top 10 finishes, and that got us an invite to get into the Isle of Man TT, and which was absolutely phenomenal experience to be part of history, really. That's motorcycling at its absolute purest form. Went over there, put in the homework, and did really well. I wanted to represent Canada and, you know, do well and go fast, and, you know, my first lap on my own was over 101 miles an hour, so we knew we were on the right track, and yeah, all went well. I've been saving all my crashing for here in North America because over there with Hadrian's walls and churches and trees and hedges, you don't want to be tossing them away.
Talk about that experience a little bit more in the sense of, did it actually live? Is it one of those things that actually lives up to the hype? I guess number one, and number two, when you're going down the road at 200, 250K, and you've got, as you say, walls and hedges and stuff right there. I mean, I guess that after a time you don't notice it because you're a racer and you're focused, but that first few laps where it's just kind of in your peripheral, it's got to be,
I'll try and make this as quick as I can, Eric. I went over for 8 days before the Northwest 200. I put 3,000 miles on a rental car going around the track one way. You know, it's 37.7 miles, 287 corners. It's a lot to learn. And then went over to the Northwest and then went back again for another 7-8 days, put another 1,500 miles on a motorcycle. So probably put more homework into that than I did in anything else in my whole life, and it made a really big difference. And the first time at speed when you crest Bray Hill and you're dropping about 25, 30 stories and 6-gear tap down a hill, it is an amazing experience. And anybody who knows me will tell you that I am about 0% religious, and for me that was about as close to a religious experience as it gets.
So you're ready to go. Obviously, anyone who's done it once you've done it once, you got to do it about 97 more times, right?
You know, I was really fortunate. I was on good bikes with a good team over there, and I've had really, really strong results. I'm kind of flying at home on Irish roads, and we got some offers to go back next year, so that's definitely in the cards.
And then the rest of the Irish circuits, Northwest, Ulster, I think you've done Southern one?
So far I've done the Northwest twice, Isle of Man TT, and I've done Armoy, which is another big road. I've done that one twice as well. Next year, you know, we're trying to put a program together for the Big Four, which would be go do the Daytona 200, the Northwest 200, the Isle of Man TT, and the Ulster GP, which are all international events, so really good exposures and good for the sponsors, and they really like that. And it looks like the TT is all going to be broadcasted live next year, so that's a big deal. And the Northwest 200 already is, so it's huge over in Europe, just unbelievable.
Yeah, if you, I think it's what, BBC NI, you usually stream it over here, and that's in the States. I can do it. I assume you can do it in Canada as well.
You know what? I'm over there doing it, so I couldn't tell you.
But I actually remember, because I remember seeing you. You did get some screen time, because I did get a screenshot of you and posted it to the wall. So you were getting some pub over there. So that's good to see. And well, hey, we'll let you get back to it. I know you're a busy weekend here, a lot to do, and great to catch up with you.
Hey man, thanks. And I want to give a shout out to all my guys here who've been just busting their asses fixing everything I keep breaking. And if you guys are around in the pits, come by. We got Ruthless Crew t-shirts for sale, so come by and say hello.
All right, thanks, Darren. Good catching up with you.
Thanks, Eric.